On to you Capricorns. So you have the Judgment, the Seven of Swords, and then you Capricorns have the Eight of Wands. Okay, so let's see what y'all got. So something is put behind you. The days of you not actually speaking your mind is put behind you. A lot of you Capricorns, relax, I'm gonna come play. That's my dog over there. See, why's my dog looking at me like that? We'll hang out. We'll kick it. She wants me to come play now. But anyway, the point is that you Capricorns, the days of you just not really speaking your mind, like Taurus, is over, right? That's one thing that earth signs really do have to actually work out within themselves. You know, sometimes we do tend to actually hold a lot in, and then, then it's like, the wrath of the wrath, you know what I'm saying? The wrath of the Most High comes down on us, or onto someone else. But I should say, a lot of you Capricorns are learning to not just, allow someone to, you just learn to understand how to maneuver a lot better, learning when to not speak your mind, learning when to speak your mind, not allowing people to, creating boundaries, not allowing people to actually, treat you any kind of way. And then the Eight of Wands, and just not allowing someone to tell you that you essentially, you're not going to be anything. You're nothing, right? And that you'll never accomplish your dreams, right? Being with people that will try to tear you down and make you Capricorns feel like you'll never get close to it. You're trash. This is where it is that you belong type stuff. I'm just seeing how a lot of you Capricorns are essentially breaking those type of mental chains, right? Getting rid of them and getting rid of, your own limitations that you put onto yourself because you allow people to actually tell you that narrative and you run with it. And so the Hermit and the Eight of Swords speaks to how a lot of you Capricorns are in hermit mode, for a lack of a better term. And the Hermit came up, Hermit and the Eight of Swords. You're in hermit mode, seeking solitude because you are getting your mind right. You don't want to associate yourselves with an idiot. And there's nothing wrong with that. You Capricorns are actually doing the right thing. You Capricorns are doing the right thing. Everybody should take some time to get their head together. You can't really say that if you ask me, a person, like think about the issues that people have where they're not single for a very long time. Like for you to be in relationships back to back, like back to back, you know what I mean? No Drake. To literally be in relationship and then maybe even have things get messed up, but then take like 2 weeks off and then get yourself in one, maybe even a month. Okay, that's not a problem. But then get yourself in one, right? And, if that's something that a person wants to do, sure, I've seen that myself, seen a Libra do it. Okay, what am I going to say? Hey, something that I've said, what am I going to say? But at the same time, right, you're going to give yourself some space is the point that I'm trying to make. You're not just going to go back to back to back to back to back. There's some people that literally jump from no matter how messed up it is, they jump from one relationship onto the next, onto the next, onto the next. Right? No matter what's going on in their life, no matter how many problems or the troubles that's going on in their life. And so I'm saying all this to say that you Capricorns you are learning to be by yourself, because that's one of the things, if you ask me, that a lot of people, there's so many different dynamics to relationships. This is why it is that I say that you can't be in a relationship with a huge ego like that. Obviously, everyone has an ego. But no matter who you are, you got to humble yourself. Myself, no matter who it is. Because another aspect of the whole relationship thing too is a lot of people don't know how to be by themselves. And so they use relationships to constantly be in one. They use that as a crutch. And I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm saying I've seen it before. Because you'll know those type of people, because just as it is, I said before, they'll never be single. Never. And it's like, you really have to ask yourself, those people keep going through issues time and time again. You can only imagine the kind of baggage that they have if they've never actually allowed themselves to cool off from relationships for a little while. You understand? Because they keep jumping from one person to the next to the next. So if they, let's just say, for instance, if they don't find the right one, because they don't take time off and they jump to the next person, all the accumulative baggage that they've experienced from how many relationships that they've experienced prior to, that they've kept, they're bringing it to the next person in line, or of the people that they date in context. So a lot of you Capricorns are learning that that's not a good, and you're right, it's not a good thing. This is where you get this is where it is that you get the real messed up issues with somebody, when it seems like they're dysfunctional to a person that isn't dysfunctional to them. We gonna hang out. Look at my dog, yo. She wow. We gonna hang out. I promise. We gonna hang out. We gonna kick it. She wants me to go hang out with her. But you Capricorns understand this, and you understand how important, how paramount that is to get to know yourself again. Because these especially nowadays, these relationships are so dysfunctional, fam. You could tell people be losing who they are in them joints, because when they get out of it, they run wild. They run wild. They act like they don't have any sense, a lot of them. They run absolutely wild. How can we prove that? How many times you seen people get themselves out of relationships, and what do? They go partying, they go doing all this other stuff, because that's a reflection of the relationship. They feel like they gotta party and do all this because they didn't feel good in the relationship. So they feel like, oh my gosh, I'm single. Let me just binge on partying, hang out with friends, kick it, right? Just whatever, do whatever, right? Just exhibit my freedom hood. That lets you know the type of dysfunction that they've been going through, because a person who understands what type of time it is, they understand if the time that I become single, I'm not going to act like I never had freedom before, because I was single prior to being in a relationship. Now I'm just returning to a single state again. Like, I was single before I met this person. I met this person. I was with this person. Now I'm single just like I was before. All I did was return to zero. Now, and when I say return to zero, I'm not talking about it from a perspective of you're nothing. I'm talking about return to the center point. That's all I did. So the thing is that the Eight of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Ten of Pentacles now is about how, so you're going to take this time to use it constructively. Remake yourself. Take a couple of extra shifts. Like I said before, remake yourself. Also take time to empty out, right? Cool off. Reflect on the things that happened to you in the relationship. but without trying to seek them out and get back together with them, or speak to them, or reach out to them, and just allow that stuff to empty outside of yourself. Allow those thoughts to pass, but without actually reaching out to the person in order to do that, no matter what. And the Ten of Pentacles, right? You Capricorns are regaining yourself. But just because you're strong doesn't mean that other people are strong like you. You know, people may, and this is part of what makes dating sometimes difficult. Not all the time, but sometimes, because just because you Capricorns have bounced back, or you are bouncing back, does not mean that other people are strong enough to bounce back. Sometimes relationships break people, yo. And why I'm saying that is because you Capricorns are not going to allow whatever kind of separation, breakup, what have you, to mess with your sense of life, your value as a living being, right? And see, the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles is about how it speaks to how you have to work on some things, like of course we all do, but you Capricorns have to work on how do I say this? You have to work, how do I say this for YouTube? You have to work on how good the relationship makes you feel, in the sense of, understand that if the relationship does not work out, right? If it's dysfunctional and it doesn't work out, right? That when you break up, right? You're simply going from singlehood to being in relationship and reverting back to singlehood again. It's not like bits and pieces have been taken off of you. Bits and pieces are taken off if you allow that, because some people don't actually recover from that, right? Like they allow the relationship or the one that they had to run their life. And once again, a lot of you Capricorns are learning to regain your own sense of importance and value by being oneself, right? But at the same time, like I said before, like I keep talking about, it's very important because of how broken people will allow themselves to be. They will be in relationships and they ain't put themselves back together yet. You know what I mean? They ain't really done anything for themselves. They will just jump from relationship to relationship. And then it's like, oh, well, how come I can't find anybody that loves me? And it's like, part of the reason is why you running them away due to the fact that you got this baggage that you compound. You're not letting the baggage go. You're not leaving that baggage behind. You're not throwing the baggage in the trash can, and the bag is full with banana peels and tin cans and garbage and you know what I'm saying? So let's clarify the Ace of Pentacles. It's like, throw the trash can, throw the bag along with its contents in the trash can and move, and you have less baggage. You have less bags. You know? So let's clarify the Ace of Pentacles. You have the Nine of Swords, the Judgment, the Seven of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and then you Capricorns have the Page of Cups to clarify the Ace of Pentacles, right? So what it's saying here is that the lesson that you have to learn is the Nine of Swords, the Judgment, and the Seven of Pentacles. Don't ever allow someone to tear down your sense, your value as a living being that you can contribute to yourself and to other people based upon relationships. Because this is what it is I was saying about how people place relationships are most definitely important, and it seems like everybody wants one. But I'm saying it from the perspective of people don't you Capricorns dare put too much of an over importance on relationships to the point where if you are not in a relationship, then it means that you are 100% useless. You cannot contribute anything, because that's not true. Because even to the best of people, no matter how wonderful they are, relationships are not guaranteed. So then you have the King of Wands and the Page of Cups. So you Capricorns have to actually do some, you have to take some time off with that, because some of you Capricorns are actually struggling with that understanding that you have to be in relationships, but it's not, but if the two of you don't work out, you are not garbage. So that's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to over 100K. I gotta go hang out with my dog. Peace.